Alrighty. Let's see here.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you guys doing? All right. Let's see. Let's start from the beginning, like we always do. So, as discussed, we saw the VIX break down, and it broke the.
No screen, banana.
Hey, do you really need it though? Really? You
Oh
must get
no.
you must get tired of that with me, huh? Oh, I got switch screens. It's more of a pain in the ass. Do you think I got to switch screens to make sure that I share the right screen because I have a duplicate whenever I have the quad up there. So let's see here. I think that I'm sharing with you now. All right. VIX falling down. 17,445 broke it again. It had already, but we needed to kind of start setting new lows. That was the candle right here, the 6 a.m. candle. We are now in the 10 a.m. candle, and we're continuing on down lower. This is the calm before the storm, so to speak, as we roll into Tuesday's close. We got about 24 hours before things start getting a little hectic in anticipation of actual earnings releases from Nvidia at the end of the day tomorrow. So I expect us to kind of get into a little bit of a pin spot here. We saw on ES followed the VIX, which is the oddity that happens when the VIX is A, being suppressed, and B, insurance isn't really for the consumer that's out there buying. In other words, we have very, very low volume, which is causing us to have little spots of self-awareness here as we push down. So trend line here, we're basically at that level. This is the range. It's going to start from Friday's high and move on down to yesterday's overnight low into the morning there, and that's basically what we're stuck with. Even if it is trending slightly higher right now, we're gonna go. Good news is I think I've got it sorted out for us tomorrow. So here on SPY. We have our first candle for the day here. Opened up higher than the 4 hour 9. So we had the 4 hour 9, took it, floundered, lost it, came back up, back tested it, rejected. Lots and lots of fun. So a lot of movement here on SPY. Short range though. Not a great range to day trade and scalp. I sorry I missed the call with Jinja with you guys earlier, but I'm sure it wasn't the best of trading days in terms of action. But here's where we are. So we're consolidating here at this lower level in anticipation for the push. All of the supports below us here are strong enough for us to give us a nice big bounce if reached. And that's what I think we're going to be looking for towards the end of the day tomorrow is backtest the supports immediately with a big giant push once we get the actual news for NVIDIA, which I believe is going to be positive. I think we all know it's going to be positive, but I believe it's actually going to give us that positive relief in the marketplace with a couple of things: CapEx expenditures, forecasting, as well as distribution. The part that I get hung up on in terms of they're paying for everybody for their own product being purchased out there is not going to be relevant. Nobody cares about that stuff anymore. So I am just old in that. So that will come later when we start seeing defaults on payments and stuff like that. So it's a future warning. Here we are on Bitcoin. We lost the trend line a little bit, but we're just consolidating. Again, I am still looking for that 75,000 back test. I have a little bit more optimism than my partner in terms of how this is going to roll out for Bitcoin, but I still am waiting for that back test. So give me the back test, and I'll give you my Bitcoin. And then here on ES, on the roll for today, you can see kind of the movements that we had from this morning. Sorry, right around here. Trailing, diving down here into 11 o'clock, and then you had our better price action coming back up with some back tests and rejections. VWAP's playing an important role today across the board. I'll show you that a little sooner when we get over to Soxel, especially too. But we're seeing a pretty, non-eventful day. I'm sorry, this day is just kind of boring to me. I don't really see a whole lot going on. Oil is kind of static. VIX is giving us a little bit of ground here, and we got a tradable range, but not a super fun one. That's SPY. We already looked at there. But on the daily for SPY, again, I told you here we are. We're stuck kind of right in the middle. 4-hour 50 on support line of the structure. This is where it needs to be to support us should we come on down here towards the end of the day. But I don't see it. Again, I see our day being very muted. I think we have our range for the day already. If anything, we could push slightly higher, but we are not going to exceed Friday's high of day, which was 767.74. So I don't see that happening today. So if anything, we're just going to kind of sit in this range. We probably have a smaller candle on the second day. Don't forget, I said this morning, prices will get pinned. Same thing with the Qs. In anticipation of any difficulties with the Qs, we do have this bottom trend line. I believe that will show us support, so I believe we will have that. I don't see a super strong support above here other than the 4-hour 200. Obviously, lower than that is the monthly 9, which has finally caught up to that July 29th bottom that we have. So that being here, the calculated monthly 9 is slightly higher, obviously. So looking at around 666, which is we'll get on the roll as of not next week, but the week after. Oh, it is next week actually. Sorry, next week we'll get on the roll. Forgot we're at month end too. So yeah, lots of exciting times here for all this stuff. That'll push up, but like I said, I think the trend line down. I think we bounce off this if we see lower levels here. So my theory for the Qs is that we have basically two major stops if it happens here, but I don't see us going down. I actually think we're going to see the other direction. We're going to be battling the daily 9, and I think we'll actually overcome that and come back up into this range here, where we will have this part, which is going to see whether we take or not the cap that we have on top of us here. That will be all post. So we're looking at Thursday, Friday in here, taking this activity in here. The one part that I actually haven't calculated in here for NVIDIA is what if everybody is complacent with it? I don't think that that is a possibility, but it is a scenario that I don't have a lot prepared for because it just means that the static isn't what moves us, is that a geopolitical event does. And if that is the piece that's there, it's still a flip. The flip is Iran waves a white flag, or Iran blows up a ship in the strait. Or we say we're not doing it anymore, or we say we're going down harder, right? So those are the four scenarios on that side. As far as Canada is concerned, nobody is concerned about Canada and their tariffs. Now, those will be a blip in the earnings report of some strange company, about 30 days from now. And I'm not really worried about it either. I think that all gets sorted. These games that are being played are by design to root out other issues that have not been resolved for years, and starting to understand that a little deeper now in terms of what the actual objectives are of these tariffs, and they have very little to do with revenue recognition. So NVIDIA, back to that whole story there. We're at the halfway point here. We did reach up, bounced off the 4-hour 9 very, very clearly. You can see this. What perfect level. Bounced right off it. Came back down. We found the other 4-hour 9 as support and the low, London low here, and now we are building back up. We need to curl this 24-hour, 4-hour 9. We're at about negative 16 degrees at the moment. For a 24-hour SMA, this one will go pretty quickly. So as long as we can hold levels here, that's it. The other thing too, though, is that this is the 50. So the 4-hour 54 regular trading hours that we're bouncing off now here. Rejection of that does put us back to the 24-hour, 4-hour 9. Losing that does put us down to London low. Losing that does put us down towards the weekly 20, and then retesting these prior lows here from Friday. So that's a lot of work to get down here. We've got some good supports in place. 208.87 is my ripcord here. I'm going to move this up to it on NVIDIA. And again, it's going to be a little bit of a wild card tomorrow, but I think I gave you my concept of what's going to happen. I believe prior to earnings release tomorrow, we will see some shenanigans in the lower ranges here. And then post earnings, I believe NVIDIA actually pops to take back majority of what it's given back over the last week and a half. That would be par for the course normality. We have seen altering plans here with the chips, and we've been seeing a lot of heavy drops. I just don't think we're quite ready, and we're right there yet. So I think we're still going to get that little bit of a boost there. But plan accordingly. Always keep a hedge. Know where you're at. So here's Soxel, um, and you can see on here's the 5 minute chart for the day. You can see our open, nice strong open. This was for everybody doubled down. This was the yesterday. This was the exit for your double down to return so that you could buy lower again if needed. But what I noticed here is that we did lose VWAP here, and VWAP's been an important rejection point all day. So we've had about 4 tests of the VWAP. Here today, and we are now being held by the 15-minute 20. 15-minute 20 is our trend control line for the day. You can see that holding. If we lose this, then that'll obviously alter our daily controls, but I think we have a good shot of just minor wickage and then coming back out. Soxel really, again, matters very, very little where it trades today. This is going to matter tomorrow at 4 p.m., and that's all going to be because of NVIDIA. We have CPE tomorrow too. Is it CPE or CPC? CPE tomorrow. So core personal consumer consumption expenditures. So that is a direct correlation inflation report. So that will give us activity, and that is, oh shoot, I was just looking at it. That is pre-market as well? Yeah, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the New York area. So New York time as usual, and I actually expect that to come in somewhat reasonable. The slight bit of hotness that may come in at will be absorbed immediately, I think. So I don't think we have any issues with that. And then I think Nvidia will give us, the addition there. So two kind of bull flags, a very, very illogically static day tomorrow, potentially starting from a lower point, though. Maybe the overnight session gives us some pressure to push us down to start with, and then very little movement until the close, and we go there. So I'm not expecting any miracles before the close tomorrow. So here we are, Soxel. This is the pinpoint. So bottom of the channel, top of the channel, depends on which side you're on it, but roughly here. What are we looking at support-wise? Let me just spread this out for you so you can see. So we got monthly 9, 4-hour 9 up above us here. These are the key points here, and then we have this SMA structure right here. This combination. That's the structure we need to take out tomorrow. This works very, very well for us today in terms of capitulating with the trend. So if you take this little trend line here, you connect these bottoms now that we have them. That is a very nice little trend line to join in on if we can continue to carry that. So potential back test tomorrow, and then a bounce push up through. We need to take out these key targets in tomorrow, and I think that is the objective for us. So see if we can get that. Otherwise, if we do lose this trend line here, then we're looking at D200 support again, which will not give us the same bounce reaction that we got yesterday. So tested once already, and it held firm. And this was what I was counting on yesterday. That's why I called it out for entries. But this will not hold the same way on the second test. So I would expect a full-on breach, and then we'll get the weekly 50. And the weekly 50 is going to be hit or miss if it boils down to that. So I don't think we get these lows. I'm just trying to walk you through the counter argument. My argument is definitely the taking out of these SMA structures here and battling the weekly 9, and then hopefully trying to push on up into higher levels. I think targets are up here in the 185 range. But that's a lot of ground to cover. So let's get point A and point B completed first. And don't get caught in the melee tomorrow. It will be pretty brutal. So I'm going to shrink this back down so we have this in. I like this view that we have here so that we can see this again tomorrow. All right. MU. It's just the same thing. There's nothing here. Nothing's going to go on AMU. Let's look at AMD real quick. It's going to be the same thing. We got a little bit of actually upward push here on AMD, a little excitement. So leading the charge, rejection off the 20 and the 9 from the daily chart. 4 hours are pushing. We've got two pushes back. Second one lower than the first, so looks like that rejection is strong. It could turn into consolidation. You can see the 4 hour 9 and 20 turning in support. That 9 crosses that 20. That might actually give us a little boost to pump out of that. So I would look for that. Back tests down to these are buyable. Back tests down to everything is buyable. Tomorrow's back tests are buyable. Okay, just don't set your expirations for Wednesday next week. Give yourself some time. We need the time if we're gonna touch back those lows. But opportunity potentially tomorrow, just like there was yesterday. Tesla bounced off support. We got our trend line here. Did a nice bounce off support. Actually, real quick, easy day trade today for Tesla, which rarely get. And you can see it here on this. Just a simple ride the 15-minute 9. Just entered on out here. Took the 15-minute 20, came back in for support, and then you had a click right out here, and then your exit. So not a huge run, but definitely was something worth trading. Once you breach that 15-minute 50, okay, and that new SMA that's going against you, that was your cue to exit because you're fighting the same time frame that you're using for support, going in the alternative direction, and it's just a safety mechanism that you know there's going to be a backtest of that support. So you just exit there in profit, high profit, and then you can go ahead and wait for that backtest. Knowing whether or not the 15-minute 20 would hold or not, you would not have that knowledge. Matter of fact, you wouldn't have been able to count on that for all. But the fact that it did now puts us into a squeeze, which is where we are right now. So we've got 9 pointing down, 20 pointing up, squeezing those candles right here. The result of which I think will give us a pushback up, which we can see shortly. So which actually probably resolves itself today. We still have 2.5 hours left in the trading day. So that'll be fun. SpaceX didn't die yet. Keep your fingers crossed. We're coming. It's gonna come. It's gonna come. Shoot this thing down a little bit. We'll see. There's a couple of variables here that I'm looking at for SpaceX in terms of bringing it down. They keep digging into their pile of press releases that are just absolute garbage. They come up with names for space stations and they get a 2% jump. So I don't know what to say. Just give it a minute. Apple. So I was excited for Apple yesterday, and the overnight really kind of kicked me in the nuts a little bit on this. We're definitely got lower. We've got higher lows here from the Friday session, but barely, and it's really floundering here. As we went out on this breakout earlier today, we took yesterday's high, which was good, but it was a hard rejection. And that rejection makes me think that Apple is not done with its consolidation. So you can see that here. Look at how hard that rejection was in that first 5-minute candle. Just as absolute no. Carried all the way on until 11 o'clock, putting us still into this candle here, down to the daily 9 as support. So support was there and held, which is good. And that daily 9 is exactly what held on the overnight here too. Same SMA, different levels. And now we have the pushback here. So what I'm looking at here is this is just not worth looking at right now. Let this consolidate. Let's focus on the target right now, which is NVIDIA and the chips. Let's let Apple do what Apple wants to do, and then we can take a look at this again. Maybe tomorrow, more likely Thursday, but there's going to be so much more exciting things to look at Thursday than Apple. So I'm just going to sit Apple out for now and let this consolidate. If you guys want some lines to understand where we're at, so we are basically in a consolidation range from here to midpoint on the drop, right? Midpoint on the run, right? Rise and run. There's a consolidation range, and you can see that consolidation range that we have here, these are the tops. I need to bring this slightly down for you. Hold on, let me get a little bit more accurate. There, boom. Okay, here's the consolidation range. The problem with the consolidation range is we are consolidating below the break point here, so it's not inclusive. Until we break out of that with price, then we can't actually start to heal this yet. So this will be a mess for quite some time, probably quite some time, meaning probably a week or 3 or 4 days anyway. I haven't looked at Amazon today. Yeah, nothing to look at. Pass. Nvidia. Netflix, sorry, Netflix. So here's exactly what we were talking about earlier this morning. It came down for the back test here. Now I know Ginger was looking for the break if it broke to short, but what it did was it grabbed the bottom of the channel and then it bounced. And it gave a nice run on up here too. So looking at this chart in terms of execution, this was exactly what we wanted to see. We had a run, we had consolidation, easy consolidation range, right? Let me box this out for you. See that to the daily 9 there? Daily 9 as support. So this was your support, which we didn't even get to, so you're good there. And then consolidation range on the top was here as defined at 81.16. That was the week high that we had before, and then this was the target. If it closes above 82.07, out of the messy middle and back to full size positions. So that's where we're at right now. We're toying with this range right here. Me, I'm an exit guy. I just take my profit and wait for the back test again. But we could break from here too. So again, looking for 82.07 to give us the range here. We're either going to close above it and run, or we're going to close below it and fall, or they're going to mess with us and close on it. Either way, what you do need to see, what you need to be looking for on this trade, where we are right now. Here's a weekly 9. Here's the monthly 9. And we are directly in the middle of that right now. So that's the range that we're in here. That's the consolidation range. So that's the breakout we're looking for to see. And I think Netflix might give it to us. It depends on the melee we get from the market with Nvidia. It shouldn't affect Netflix that much, but it might be market wide. Otherwise, we may actually get that push. So I'd like to see it close above 82.07, and that'll be a good one for us. Everything else is boring. Where are we? You guys have anything you want me to look at? I'm going to go back over here. We got a new candle here. So on SPY, what I want to see with this last candle here today. Um, nice call on Labu. Yeah. Yes. Good call on Labu. Thank you. Um, and the pointers are great. I mean, I think I got them nailed down in a way where you guys can really profit from whatever you want to look at. What I was going to say, though, is I'm getting a little bored with about half the tickers. About half of them are things that I go over that I don't think anybody's looking at. So I was going to, if you guys have other tickers you want me to do instead, I'd love to see lists. Actually, you guys that are on right now, love to see, and girls, love to see lists from you guys for, hey, I'd love to see these 4 tickers and I'd love to see these other 4 tickers go away. So give me 4 adds and 4 subtracts, each of you. That's your homework for me. And let me evaluate that and look at if there's overlap and stuff like that. I try to make that stuff come true. I definitely want to retire a couple that I don't think anybody's paying attention to and add some stuff in that might be more exciting for you guys. More exciting for me because I got to sit here and stare at it all day. So, and all night and all morning. But my process is streamlined now. I think I'm feeling really good about it. I'm feeling really good about what I'm putting out for you guys. So yeah, definitely give me a heads up on content that you want, tickers that you want, so I can get generating on that. But here we are. This is our last candle for the day. 130, our 130 candle swap call on the RTH. Here we are right at the 4-hour 9 on the open. So I think we close above this, but again, I think we stay in range. It'll be what's called an inside candle, and we trade in this range right here. Very likely that something else could happen, but I do not think we see new highs or lows to against the prior candle we have here. It's going to be a slow day. Volume is just dead. Look at this. Look at this. The way the volume is laid out here. So these lines that don't extend out, they're baselines. So there's nothing really there. We have a lot of volume in a couple different areas, but it's just really not. It's not extensive at all. So pretty slow day. You guys should go do something else. Seriously, don't stare at the charts all day. There's nothing to look at here. Tomorrow's going to be very similar until we get towards the end of the day. Overnight might be different, but we could have fun in the morning. All right, guys. Tell me what you need. I am ready to take commands.
On our Soxel. I sold some from purchase yesterday, just
Nice.
to
Yes, sir.
go down a little bit. My other calls that are like early October are in the red,
Yep.
probably around 120 stock price I need for it to break even, 122 something.
Okay, nice.
Are you thinking tomorrow before earnings is a time to add some more, or wait till after, see what happens, make sure it doesn't crash? Thursday is going to crash, and then we add them. What are you thinking?
Well, um, so I had devised this in a four scale entry. I probably turned into a five scale, but anyway, so yesterday's purchase was supposed to be an adder to support the downward pressure so that you could take profit. Today was a great day to take profit on that adder. You did exactly what was intended there. So good job there. Now, to answer your question, are we going to get the pullback tomorrow, or are we going to do we add here? Do we add tomorrow? Do we add Thursday? I think there's nothing to do today with this at all. You don't want to be overweight, so I think you should be in two scales right now. You should have two available, and I think we're going to look for tomorrow. If we get lucky and we pull back tomorrow, I would look to add another scale there. And I would not use my fourth scale until Thursday morning if necessary. Here's the deal. October is plenty of time. Um, this could be really disgusting for a week. It could really shit the bed hard. Um, I don't think that's going to happen here though. It's not where I'm putting it. I give that about a 15% chance. Back testing this number here, I give about a 5% chance of getting back to that. I don't think we're going to do that either. All right, but you got to add these percentage chances all together. I think more than likely, we probably see lows like today's lows, open lows, meaning RTH lows. So like 113 or whatever. So I'm down in here tomorrow, maybe a little wick down from there, and then probably push. But I don't need to own a full position in here. Two scales is plenty to profit on that. Let it bounce off the nine, come back down. If it hits the nine and comes back down, and you take tomorrow's Asia high, wherever that is, okay, that would be your third entry. So you'd be paying more than now with the security of knowing the direction we're going in. And that's something we don't do very often around here, which is buying higher knowing where we're going versus buying lower without knowing where we're going, right? Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes sense. So you're talking Thursday, do
I'm
that
I'm saying
after
let's look at
after earnings.
tomorrow. If we get a big pullback
Okay.
tomorrow, I'm going to add a scale, okay, tomorrow.
Okay.
If we don't and we're just floundering around here, I'm not going to do anything. Um, And then Thursday, we may have this. I think this is the bottom here for sure. I'm like a really high percentage tells me that that's it. But if we do get lower, then we'll have another scale to put in, and we won't be screaming and crying. You are super close to break even on that, and add in your profit that you took on those other ones from yesterday. I bet you're even closer than you think. Um, and but good job exiting that scale. And so, are you roughly in two scales?
Yeah, probably two and a half, somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay, yeah, you're in a good spot. I like it. You're in a good spot. Um,
Okay.
and that's where you want to be. So don't be surprised if you're paying more on Thursday than where we're at today. But be grateful if you are, because then you know where we're headed. Um, and I'm here all day, so no worries. We'll go
So
through it.
I think your previous vision was for the end of August, a run up till the mid 150s, maybe if we were lucky on Soxel,
Yeah,
or
we
even
could
up to
we could
200.
we could even spike up 185, 200. It is very possible. Yep.
But is that timeline more extended now? It's going to take another week or two into September, or I know you were kind of banking on another
Yeah,
pullback
we're
like these
looking
were.
at try crystal ball tell me where. So I'm trying to get a date certain on the next pullback, and I really need to see how tomorrow plays out. But the one thing I can tell you is we go higher before we go lower. So I got you covered in here for this. I
Mm.
can't wait for the days where we can swing month to month again, because this is just like eating me up how difficult this part is.
Right.
But yeah, so I think we're probably looking closer to mid-September for the push. But the biggest concern I have is the month end on Monday next week. So that's why I need tomorrow's, I should say, really it's Thursday's data, but tomorrow's morning data and NVIDIA's close to tell me what the month end is going to look like, because we'll know pretty quickly, because since we're right on the heels of it, and then that'll give us our indication. We could wipe out the possibility of a dip in September and push all the way into October with that, which is what I'd love to see. But I can't answer your question without a little more information. I
Gotcha. Not
apologize.
yet.
Yeah.
No, no worries. All right. Sounds good. I think I got the plan in my head now.
All right. Good. Excellent. All right. Anybody else? Yes. Insulator, go level the weeds. Excellent job. And if you get a chance, I have weeds that need to be leveled too. So always welcome to level my weeds. Melissa, how about you? You got anything? You don't have to talk. I know everybody's doing their own things too. So all good. All right, guys. I'm going to shut it down and I'll see you guys on the floor. Thank you.